Alright guys, Epic here, and in today's video I want to bring you my 470k toughness build. Now the reason I'm doing this build is because I've had a lot of comments recently about what gear sets I'm using, what rolls I have on my weapons and whatnot, and basically my stats in general. So I thought, you know, why not do a video on it, give you an update, and I'll try and do a more in-depth video as opposed to my most previous videos, sorry. So here's the build that I'm running with currently. I've got a DPS of 228, toughness of 470 and skill power of 16.5 roughly. Okay, so I'm still currently using this org from the base of operations from some time ago. I have got the I've got the org A3P blueprint, but I've not managed to roll anything decent. And funny enough, one of my mates messaged me just before this video to advise me that he'd just recently rolled the brutal deadly swift on an org on his first attempt. So pretty salty. But yeah, so this is 11.1k base damage. Obviously that is determined on my firearms there. It's got brutal, vicious and meticulous. Quite like meticulous. Brutal is obviously amazing, and vicious is not so good because most of the time if you're PvP you're not going to be at full health. Plus with the cap on 60% you really don't need vicious anymore. Now my other weapons, I've got this black market SASG, which is a base damage of around 40,000. It's got capable, don't need. But it has got brutal, it has got responsive. So this thing is actually quite beast. I put rate of fire on it, shoots very fast and does quite a bit of damage. So that's pretty cool. I'm also running my first wave M1A, which has balanced, deadly and accurate. So it's a bit like a laser if I'm honest. And it does considerable damage. So really like this first wave M1A, and I'm usually always running this. And the base headshot damage of 165, which is reasonably high. Another shotgun I've got is sort of the more sort of pump action one. Base damage of 85.7. As I said, this has got no mods on it at the moment, I can tell really. It's got brutal, responsive and accurate. I would have liked to have got, you know, deadly on deadly on there instead of accurate, but it's a nice shotgun there. I have this MP7 I've kept it, but I'm probably going to get rid of it. It's got brutal, responsive, which is awesome, but it's also got provident, and the base damage isn't that great to be honest, so maybe get rid of that. And I've been holding on to this Scar Out for some time because it's got brutal, responsive and dominant, which is pretty cool. Dominant not so great, but the other two perks are pretty cool, and it's not a bad assault rifle whatsoever. I'm looking to get some Predator gear actually, some Predator gear sets, just so I can use this a little bit more, but at the moment I haven't been able to do that. So let's go down to my my pistol and my double-barreled sawn-off. We'll start with my pistol. It's got 14.6k damage. It's got expert, obviously, and responsive, so it's a pretty good and strong pistol. Obviously, pistols aren't that viable at the moment, but it does quite a good job. And lastly, I just got this recently, actually. It's a double-barrel shotgun. It's got responsive on it, and deadly, and self-preserved, which I am loving. It's a shame that it was something I would want something different to self-preserve, probably brutal. But apart from that, I couldn't really ask for a better roll, to be honest, on a double-barrel sawn-off. But yeah. It's only a 182 as well, so you can tell gear score doesn't mean much in this game. So, let's start with my first piece of armour, as I'm sure that's really what you want to see. I'm running the final measure 2-piece set on here. So, if you didn't know, that gives you your exotic damage resilience of plus 50%. So, currently I'm running two mod slots on this. Both of them are stamina. I have skill power and health. Now, if I wanted to, I could drop out, say, for example, health and put on, I don't know, let's put on this skill haste, firearms mod, and that'll bring my DPS up to 234, which is sometimes what I run, but for the sake of high toughness build, I just mess that all up. Then I run two stamina mods on this. So the actual perks on here, so I've got a base firearms of 671 plus your stamina mod. It's got 592 plus armor, plus 46% ammo capacity, 8.5% ballistic shield health, and two mod slots. Now, one thing I love about this final measure vest is with the new gear set coming out that requires a ballistic shield. Then if I'm running, I can't remember what it's called, but if I'm running that gear set which gives you extra ballistic shield health, and then run two final measure, I would get that, obviously, that extra ballistic shield health. So going to become very tanky. What else I have here? I have Predator's Mark vest, which is also not a bad roll, but to be honest, I don't have any other gear to go with it. And I have this Striker's harness as well, which again, very high armor, but to be honest, I haven't got any other gear to go with it at the moment, so it's just in sort of in backup at the moment. And as I can tell, I've actually got some on there which I didn't realise. Firearms and armor. I'll take that off anyway, just for now. So my mask, I'm running the Sentry's Call mask. I think I'm running two Sentry's Call, Sometimes I like to run free to get the damage to elites, but when I'm PvPing, I like to be as strong as possible. So the damage to elites obviously doesn't affect players, so I don't run it. I normally just run 2, and so I always have my setup base for PvP, to be honest. I'm level 99 in the Dark Zone, PvE to me isn't really much anymore. But anyway, with this mask, it's got, I think I'm running 2 mod slots on here, so we've got firearms with skill power and stamina with skill power. It's got minor attribute of blind death resistance, which is not too bad because a lot of people are running the flashbang on the sticky bomb at the moment. It kind of doesn't help at 12%, but you know, if I can get some other stuff which go with it, that would help. Turret duration, not so bad because I run the shock turret quite a lot, so that helps. And then obviously you got the mod slot. As you can see, the base stats we got 150 firearms and 826 stamina on there. We've also got a Hunter's Faith mask. I just got no Hunter's Faith stuff, so I've kept it, but to be honest, I don't need it. And a Tactician's mask because it's not got a bad roll on it. It's got 2 mod slots as well. It's just it's a shame the armor is a little bit too low, to be honest. Let's go on to the knee pads. So final measure knee pads. Okay, we've got 1 mod slot on here, and I think I've run stamina, which gives me critical hit chance. So that brings up the stamina on this to 785. Running critical hit damage, which I think is very important on this. 91% scavenging. From what I can tell, scavenging is still broke. So when they actually decide to fix it properly, then that will become very good. Blind death resistance again, so that helps. It helps along with the last piece, my mask here. So that would make it what, 39%. So that's not so bad. Increased kill XP, which I don't really need because I'm already at level 99, but it does help. Smart cover damage resilience, which I actually don't mind because I use smart cover quite a lot. It's very good as well PvE if you're doing like the raids and whatnot. Then that helps a lot. I say raids because it's Destiny. I don't think they're called raids. Whatever, the incursions. Then that helps. Now I've kept these Hunter's Faith knee pads. The only 214, so they haven't really got the best base sort of health. But as I said, I've got no Hunter's Faith stuff, so I'm just keeping all the stuff I get for it. Plus, it's got blind death resistance, it's got your scavenging, armor, exotic damage resilience. It's actually quite a good roll. It's just a shame that it's a 214, so the base stamina is not so great. But I'm going to keep it anyway, just for the... I get rid of most of my stuff, as you can probably tell, just for the lols. So normally I swap these two out, strikers and sentries, and that's only for if I'm playing PvE or PvP. So normally I keep strikers because it's just got a better overall roll, and it's certainly much better for me when it comes to PvP. So running 1 mod slot on here, which is stamina. Again, like I said, I can just swap this out for firearms and get the extra bonus and stuff. But you know, I like to keep stamina on these bits and pieces. So I've got base firearms of 658, and then the mod of 156 for stamina, 437 armor, 49% ammo capacity. So we got 8% pulse duration and 8% support station health. The pulse duration is pretty good, although I don't run pulse at the moment. But obviously when the new gear set that comes out with a 2-piece, again I can't remember what it's called, but it gives you 100% pulse critical hit damage, and this would obviously help with that pulse duration. The Sentry's backpack, like I said, I've got no other Sentry's backpack. I've just got a 214 one, and I only ever really use this to get the 3-piece bonus, which allows damage to elites. And of course got the season pass, so I've got the paramedic backpack with those extra 2 med kits. I'm still running my savage gloves. I've not actually found anything better at the moment, to be honest. Even though I don't really need the critical hit chance, the savage perk at the moment, I still can't find anything better, to be honest. So it's got a base stamina 645, SMG damage of 438, which I can actually get higher to around 480, I believe. 38% critical hit damage and 11% health on kill, and a support station duration. The health on kill is obviously very important. If you're running away from players or enemies and you killed one, then you get some health back. And from what I can tell, if you kill animals, you also get health back. Critical hit damage is very important. Unfortunately, my character has quite a low critical hit damage, and we'll get to that in a bit. So I really need that, and SMG damage just helps me because I'm always running SMGs. And lastly, Sentry's Core Holster. I know my mate will be very jealous because the last time I spoke to him, he needed a Sentry's Core Holster 240, and I've had this one not for too long. It's got quite a good roll on it. So I'm not sure about this one. It's got 488 armor, okay, 636 firearms, 634 stamina, 676 electronics. Very high in those departments. And then sticky bomb damage in there. It says plus 1 mod slot, and I don't see a mod slot on there. And I don't know if that's happened to me more than once, and I don't know if it's just me. So let me know in the comments below, excuse me, if that's happened to you before, where you meant to have a mod slot, but you clearly haven't. And I can't imagine if I had a mod slot on this, and if I put stamina on it, I'll probably be up at 500k stamina roughly, or maybe just below. and I still sit at 228k DPS, so I'd be, you know, pretty tanky and still be able to output some power. I just want to reiterate, this build that I have is a tank DPS build. Okay, so it's got high toughness. Now I've had comments saying 450, 470 isn't high, but for the majority of people that I know, that is a high toughness. And to be honest, I don't want to run 600k toughness if I can only output 120k DPS. It makes no sense. You know, I don't want to be running around. I won't be able to kill anyone, and I like killing people, so I like to keep my DPS reasonably good or average, but still be able to take quite a few bullets. So yeah, that's my main setup here. I'll show you my mods that we got in here. We got firearms, and firearms with armor on it, which might actually become important because with my backpack here, then ultimately I would want to get rid of the armor and put on skill power just to boost my skill power to about 22,000. But I'll lose the armor significantly, so I really need to get better armor rolls on some of this gear, to be honest. Ideally, I'd want to get some gloves here that have like armor or something, just anything with better armor than what I currently have. Maybe, you know, for example, having armor on the critical hit damage and then getting critical hit damage somewhere else. I don't know, but we'll see about that. And then lastly, in my mods here, I don't really keep anything, to be fair. I get rid of most of my stuff, but yeah, that's just in there. So my overall character, we'll have a look at this then. So as you can see, firearms are 2650, stamina is 3877, electronics are 1211, and I think this is for my org. I think this is for my org. Let's go to my character here. So for my org, then we have critical hit chance of 31.5. Oh, actually, I thought it would be much higher than that. Savage gloves put it up to about 45%, and whatnot, so it's not so bad. Critical hit damage 142. I'd like that to be at least 200, and headshot damage 123. To be honest, if you play console, then hitting headshots is really hard if the other person isn't stood still. It's so hard to control sometimes. I've had to lower my sensitivity quite significantly to make sure I'm hitting those brutal headshots. And to be honest, I'd much rather have responsive over brutal, just because brutal relies on you hitting the head, whereas responsive does not. So you're getting that extra weapon damage. That's just my opinion. So my I don't know what my best role would be, but everyone's like brutal, deadly, responsive. But I guess for a PC player that would be ideal. But for me, I think deadly, responsive, and I don't know, self-preserved potentially. Because you're always getting, obviously with self-preserved, you're getting your heals back, plus you're dealing damage. So it's sort of a win-win situation. That's just my opinion. And everyone's got entitled to their own opinion, I guess. Accuracy 57, stability 39, range, and I never really look at any of these stats, to be honest with you, and I'm sure you guys don't either. Anything on here of relevance? So here's my toughness, 470. My max health is 117,000. My armor is obviously at the 75% cap. Now, I've had people mention that even with such high toughness, I'm still getting dropped easily. You know, I know how you feel, because I get dropped easily sometimes. Just depends on who you're against. You know, you could be running against someone who's got high DPS, and you know you would get dropped fairly easy, I reckon. But you know, I've had players where there's been 4 of them, as you've probably seen in some of my videos. You can't drop me at all, and you know, it's just one of those situations. Having high toughness is not going to be the best situation for every, you know, have the best setup for every situation. There's always something better, not most of the time. But we'll just move on to what else we have here. We've got arc strike damage resilience of 50, blind death resistance at 40, which I really like. As I said, those flashbangs, really fucking annoying. Scavenging 106%, to be fair. I'd rather not have that at the moment because, as I said, I think it's broken. And yeah, to be honest, guys, that's really it. As I said, I can swap stuff out if I want to. If I wanted to just, you know, get off this, I could put on that. And then potentially I could drop out. We don't want to get rid of skill power. If in my opinion, you don't want to get rid of skill power. Skill power is really important in this game. I would drop out the health. Let's put on... Don't need more armor. So if I just put on that, then you've got 239 DPS, 429 toughness, and skill power still the same. So I can swap out a little bit. It's obviously not a massive change. And if I wanted to, I mean, I could just drop out this and put on strikers and put me up to 500 or so with a mod on it. But that brings by my DPS ridiculously low. And to be honest, I haven't rolled a good org yet, which only requires 200,000 firearms, or 2063, because if I did, then I could probably get my DPS up to 220 and still have my toughness above 500k. But anyway, guys, I hope you... What the Sorry about that. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please like and subscribe. And I'll be bringing out hopefully another video tomorrow, just with an update on exactly what's going to be coming for the new 1.3 Underground DLC coming out on Thursday. I'm so excited, only 2 days. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, like and subscribe below, and I'll see you later. Peace guys.